James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, my weekly vlog. I'm here to talk about just a general subject of wines that I like and wines that I don't like, so stay tuned. So it might seem obvious and apparent. There are wines that I like and wines that I don't like. So, it's a really interesting category because, a lot of things land on my desk and, I don't really, lose sleep over what I don't review versus what I do review. Now, I definitely, you can look at the wines that I review and know that there are wines that I just simply won't review because I think they're just something that is not either noteworthy, interesting, or even of a quality standard that I think is really worth publishing. And I have that in my review policy, and that's not unusual. I think a lot of people who review wine are in a similar situation. Simply put, I think ultimately the other part that I don't like to do, I'll do some private label food reviews, which is pretty rare. It's actually olive oil. That's the only thing I've reviewed food-wise. But ultimately, when it comes to wine, I prefer not to review any private label wines, simply because I don't know the provenance. I don't know the story. The originality in for me is really gone. But I think ultimately it's about finding the story, the craft, and the beauty of the wine at hand. Now, often I'm asked questions about wines that I like versus what I don't like. So when it comes to white wines, I don't want something that's just going to be so overly buttery and oaky and so fantastically, candy-like, versus something that's a little more interesting and maybe noteworthy and complexities woven in. And when it comes to red wines, I don't want too much oak. I don't want the oak signature to be so over the top and really hides any characteristic. I don't like flabby wines either. I don't want something that's just going to be so maybe overly dependent on alcohol point, or maybe it's going to be so fruit characteristic oriented that it's going to be so singular as well. So complexity. And, I don't want a wine that's been vintaged, saved or cellared for years and years beyond its life. And, I'm served those occasionally and I'm just like, no, this is not good. And not to be perfectionist, but, I think that there's a time and place for holding a wine, maybe holding it for a period of time, but not forever. Maybe a very special Riesling, or maybe a port wine, Madeira wine. Maybe it is a certain, vintage. I don't even believe in Bordeaux that's aged too long. I think there's a fine line, and so maybe I speak out of turn. I don't really, worried about that, but I think it's about enjoying wines in their time and in their prime. Really important to do. And often asked about variety, those that I like and don't like. Now, I've actually hesitated about saying, there's a few varieties that I would say I'm not sure if I really dislike. I probably wouldn't say that, but I really don't, particularly reach out for or care for. And I'm really careful to not bring that out, because I think if I do that, then somebody's going to say, well, the reason for that, lower score, this score can never be higher for this particular variety. So what I try to do when I review wines is put myself in the equation at the same time of taking myself out. That is, if it's a variety that I'm not really passionate about, I'm going to really try to say, well, in terms of its peer set. So I'm going to say with a variety that I'm very okay with, that I'm not going to really give a downgrading or low point score based on just a variety that I don't just simply care for, but really to frame it in terms of other varieties that are being produced, and maybe in its peer set of other varieties that are being produced, say, from the same region. And that's how I really characterize that, because I hear people say, oh, well, variety X is, it's not for everyone. And when you hear that, I hear a judgment call that is, oh, well, you don't, the assessment or the underlining aspect is, oh, you just don't have the palate for variety X, Y, or Z. As opposed to, no, I think it's not that I don't have a palate. It's just that that variety, I think, is just really unremarkable, so to speak. So I think it's a really interesting thing to talk about. Now, here I am, San Francisco World Series, hot. And here we are in almost November. World Series going on in San Francisco. And toasty warm. I should just be drinking white wine, which I am, and rosé, and that's it. And we haven't had a winter this year whatsoever, even in the summertime, even in our cool season, which is July, August, and so forth. And in a way, it's kind of disappointing. I can't wear sweaters anymore or jackets. It's so warm. And while a lot of people in San Francisco might really like that, ultimately, in terms of the weather spectrum and the weather pattern, that's not a great thing. We need some moisture. We need some rain to eventually kiss the ground and recharge the plant material and so many things that go around in terms of the life cycle. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. I'd love some comments and questions down below. What are your favorite varieties or varieties you don't care for? Love to know what that is, and thoughts in general. Thank you so much for watching today. Stay tuned for more. And many more videos to come. You'll find me on many social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Stay tuned for more. Salud.